Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's that time of year where we should be carving pumpkins. Have you carved any pumpkins yet? I'm just getting going. I'm late. It's already in October. I've carved a few. I am so behind this year. It's ridiculous. So I've got a bunch of cedar. Some I've already blocked up. I'm going to be doing pumpkins and thought I would do a tutorial. So we're going to use a couple battery saws today. I'm going to use the MSA 220 and the MSA 200. This has a quarter pitch bar, 12-inch bar, quarter pitch, 43 gauge chain, and this is the 12-inch dime tip bar from Steel. We're going to do a bunch of work, right? We're going to create a pumpkin, then we're going to detail it with Saburrtooth burrs and then sand it down and clean it up. So I'm going to walk you guys through that step by step in case you guys are just starting out. I mean, pumpkins are probably the easiest thing to start carving for beginners. They're such an easy thing to carve. Very, very simple. You guys can get going on them. Give them away as gifts. Sell them for a few bucks. You know, kind of get yourself rolling. So be sure to give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you guys haven't already. When you hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, and turn on YouTube notifications. With that said, let's start making some sawdust. Alright guys, let's get ready. Our first few cuts are going to be working the shape around the base of the pumpkin. So these are angled cuts away. Alright, we're angling away from the base. They're kind of shallow. We're not trying to remove a ton of material, but remember you're moving like a wedge. Alright, you work your way around. Now as you do this, keep an eye on where the cut begins and ends. And you see the little corners we've created. Before you flip the pumpkin, also throw your initials right in the bottom. It's always important to initial your work. All right, we'll get the initials in here, and then we're going to go in and start with the lines that are up and down that go around the pumpkin. And I like to start those lines right where those corners are from each cut we just made. Now we go in at an angle, kind of shallow, not super deep, and we're angled in, and that's it. We're going to come back around the other way and we'll remove that piece of material, but first we're going to work our way around the pumpkin doing these shallow cuts. If you look at the nose of the bar on the left hand side of the screen, it's not very deep. We're not making super deep cuts here, okay? And going in, kind of bringing it down. This is where it's also important to have the stop blocks or the safety blocks that you've made on your jaw horse. If you don't have those in place, you're going to go right down and hit the metal. So if you don't know how to do that or put those on or what those are, I'll try to have a video linked right here to show you how to do that to your jaw horse, because I think it's really important to have those, especially for carving little pieces. All right, them safety wood blocks installed are an important feature. Otherwise you're going to be busting your chains and making them dull constantly. So I know it's a little tough to see here, but you're coming back from the other way. Right, if you just went through and use the left side of the bar to cut in, now you come back and use the right side of the bar and meet those lines to create this groove. Now, in a very simplistic way, you can do that all the way around and not use power tools to clean it up. You can use the nose of the bar to kind of just scrape back and forth, like we've talked about scraping in other videos, like this right here, this method, and try to do this up the grooves to smooth them out. If you don't have the Saburrtooth burrs. If you do, well, then that gives you that much more of a leg up in the game, and you're able to really sand these out in a few minutes when we get to that point. So work your way around, get your vertical lines in, take your time. Once you get it down, you should be able to knock out, you know, $30 pumpkins in 15 minutes or so. But it's all about practice, all right? If this takes you an hour, it takes you an hour, no big deal. You take your time, you have fun with it, you know, and just get used to making the cuts and working your way around the piece. Getting familiar with the cuts in the saw are honestly probably the most important thing before you really try to speed up your process on anything you're carving, whether it's pumpkins or bears or birds or anything. You need to just, you know, work on your process and your technique, and as you hone that in, the speed or the, you know, how quick it's going to take you will catch up. Next thing you know, in no time you'll be able to bang out a ton of these in a day. So as you can see here, most of our chainsaw work is already done. Just going through, cutting those angles. All right, now it is important to keep your chain sharp. You should already have that chain sharp before you even start. If you're not sure how to do that, again, I'll try to link the video here, but you can always check out the beginners playlist or beginners tutorial, chainsaw carving tutorial list, and I'm pretty sure I've got it linked there as well. Alright guys, once you've made all those cuts with your saw, you have all your grooves as far down as you can go to the jaw horse. Go ahead and bust out your Saburrtooth flame burr. Now this is a 1/4 inch shaft burr, 3/4 inch flame burr, and I've got it in a die grinder from Harbor Freight. I'll try to have tools or similar tools linked through Amazon. You guys can always purchase through those links. They help support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. You know, a lot of times we'll have the jaw horse and different bits and different power tools and things like that in there. And, you know, it's a great way to get it, especially if you got Amazon Prime. Order those things right up and you're good to go. But I use this bit to get that groove in there for the lines. I try to remove all the saw marks or any overcut marks I have. So we want these pumpkins to have a little bit more of a realism to them. So we try to remove the chainsaw marks, and we will come back and remove the marks from the burr, because this is pretty aggressive. This is their coarse bit, so it's green. You guys can find these right at Saburrtooth.com. Pretty much, I'm always running Saburrtooth burrs. That's the go-to brand for me. They always work well for me, and you know, I've had no issues. So basically what you're trying to do here, guys, is knock down any hard corners, any hard edges on your pumpkin, making everything rounded over. Pumpkins are round, smooth, right? So work your way around the piece and do your best to achieve that nice rounded smooth look. Alright guys, so check it out. While I'm doing this and you guys are watching, I just wanted to remind you guys that we have a course available. I have a link down below to help you start a small business and help you with your digital marketing growth. Digital marketing as in your own YouTube channel, your posts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, how to create a website where you can sell your products. Something that's really, really useful if you're going to carve and try to sell, having your own website where you can take payments and ship things right out for people and eliminate the middleman. This is a digital marketing course that we have purchased. We're breaking down. We are making sales on and helping other people grow their businesses right along with my business and my wife's small business as well. A lot of useful information in there. I believe we've even just posted a free guide, so you can download the guide right off the website that we've created and kind of get some basic information and an idea of what the course is all about. That is there for you for free, and if you really like it, you want to really get into it, you guys can always make the purchase of the course. The cool thing with purchasing the course is you own it and you own the right to resell it. So once you purchase it, it teaches you how to set up your own website and resell the course, and then it teaches you how to set up your own website for selling your own work. Now listen, I know I got past it, right? We got through that. That link will be down below, guys, so check that out. Here, I'm just using an 80 grit flap disc sander, okay? Paddle switch, and we're smoothing out our edges, our grinding marks, and we're just trying to really clean the piece up the best that we can. So work around the piece, make sure your footing is good, you're clear all the way around. You don't want to be tripping and falling and, landing on stuff and get hurt. It's important, guys, that you got your safety gear on. You're wearing chaps, safety toe boots, pair of gloves, ear muffs, even safety glasses. I prefer a dust mask, especially when I'm working with cedar. Cedar always seems to irritate my sinuses and gets me going worse than pine or anything else I work with. So I always try to make sure I'm wearing a mask when I'm carving cedar. I'm going to go ahead, though, and kick this thing in higher speed as we're just sanding. And sometimes watching somebody sand is like watching paint dry. Ugh. But first, if you guys are still here, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 19,000 subscribers. 19,000. I said by the end of this year, I want to hit 30. If I hit 30, we're going to do a giveaway. I want to do a big giveaway. And so, if we can hit 30,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I really would like to give away a chainsaw. Whether it's new, whether it's used, whether it's set up for carving, whether it's basic, I don't know yet. But I really would like to give away a chainsaw if we can hit 30,000 subscribers before the end of 2023. So give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. And so much for high speed there, right? Right into the next few cuts. We flip that pumpkin over, put it back in the jaw horse, Now, I don't always draw this on, but that's going to give me an idea, give you guys an idea where that stem's going to start. Now, with my saw, I'm not going to go straight down, but I am going to go the height of the bar. That's what I'm showing you here, the height of the bar. That's how deep we're going. So now we're at an angle, more of an angle. I want to angle away from the circle that we've created and go down the height of the bar. Even if it's a little more, that's okay. A little less, no big deal. That's going to be the height of your stem. All right. So you go down, and then you can either remove those pieces or move on to the side cuts, but I'm going to remove those pieces, get them out of the way. This is the top of your pumpkin with your stem, okay? Boom, gone. Move around your piece. And kind of make some angled cuts you see on the left. It's not a crazy angle, but you guys can still see what's happening. Go in from the side, pop those two pieces off. Boom. Good to go. Clean it up a little bit, but it doesn't have to be perfect at the moment. Now hit the very corners, just the corners. Right? Create more of a circle rather than a square top. It's all in the detail, guys. If you get the stem right, the pumpkin looks that much better. So spend a little bit of time on that stem. Slow yourself down. Slower than me. You guys will create better pumpkins than me, I'm sure. A lot of you do. I see your work. If you guys want to share your work, you can on Facebook. You got to look it up. It's our group, KyleHallWoodworker, New Carvers. Go there, answer all the questions. I'll let you in the group. You guys can start sharing your work with myself and each other. I try to be active on it, but man, I am so busy. I do try to jump on. I'll give you guys some, boosters and likes and comments when I can. Share a little bit of what I'm working on. But yeah, it's a great place for you guys to connect with each other. So once we're done with that, we're going to take the nose of the bar, look on the left, right? See what's going on, come out a couple inch and a half, dive that nose in, 1/4 of an inch deep. Keep that angle, slowly work your way around. This is where it's important to have your footing area clear so you don't trip on nothing. Now practice that walk with the saw off first, and then do it with it running, right? And make the cut so you know you're not going to trip. Now, come back through and do your angles. Angled in, remove. Okay? And you can sand or scrape with the nose of the bar to round those over if you want. Again, do your angles and remove. Do that all the way around your top of your pumpkin. Alright guys, after you finish blocking out the top of those corners of your pumpkin, take the nose of the bar, the side of it, and scrape down and kind of away on your stem, all right? These are going to be the grooves that run from top to bottom of your stem and out. Now you could do all this with the die grinder, but it's much quicker with the saw to start the grooves like I'm doing here and then go back through and clean it up with the die grinder. It just speeds up the whole process that much faster. So now we're going to take a 1/4 inch shaft, 1/2 inch burr, Saburrtooth flame burr, green coarse burr. Go through and clean these up so it looks more like the top of a pumpkin, right? Get rid of the ridge, the cut, do a little undercut and kind of round the corners for the stem right here. As you can see on the right kind of overview, kind of just doing an undercut, sort of getting in there, rounding these little stem pieces that come out over the top of the pumpkin. Like I was saying, guys, take your time through here. Add these details. Try to get rid of your overcuts. Use that nose of that flame burr. Do some undercuts. Smooth out the ridges that run from where the bit is all the way to the top of the stem. And just kind of sand it out. Smooth it out. Look at a real pumpkin or think about what the top looks like and just kind of, either recall it from memory or just do your best here to sort of add those little details. And I don't do every little line, but I do like the big ones that, kind of stand out in your mind when you think about the top of a pumpkin. Once I've done that, I try to remember to come back through with that big burr, the big 3/4 inch one, and round the top, get those grooves smoothed out, any overcuts right here. You can kind of already see, we're rounding and we're really shaping the top of the pumpkin here, having those lines come down and meet the vertical lines, hitting those hard edges. Now you can do all this with that flap sander, but it just takes longer. You've got an aggressive flame burr on here. It will, really get this process knocked out for you quick. And to be honest, the idea of carving pumpkins, like in this case, this is probably going to be like a $30, $35 pumpkin, 40 at most. I can't spend a lot of time on this, right? You can't spend a lot of time on this, especially if you're planning to sell these. Okay, if they're gifts, if they're for your own decor, they're for fun, take all the time in the world and don't worry about it. In the beginning, take all the time in the world and don't worry about it, right? Perfect your skill before you worry about speed. But like anything else, the quicker you get over time, the more you actually get to make, right? 'Cause you can knock out more in an hour, which means you're making more money an hour as your pieces sell. Just taking that 80 grit flap disc, going around, touching up my edges, knocking off any hard corners, removing the sanding marks left from the burr. Just wanted to give a big shout out to the people that are members here on the channel, that have subscribed to be a member, who, you know, basically pay a fee every month, donate a fee every month to the channel to help me keep going, help this channel grow. I really, really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot that so many of you still do that. Thank you so much. I also wanted to just remind everybody, we got merch down below. It either pops up in the video or it's in the description down below underneath. You guys can get yourself some KyleHallWoodworker shirts. One of these days, I know, one of these days we're going to create another design. Who knows, if we got any artists here that do graphic design and somebody wants to reach out to me and, I don't know, maybe show me an idea or something new, something fun that we can get on some t-shirts and mugs that, you know, would represent the channel, and who knows, help me out with a new t-shirt design. I'm all for it. We'll give you a shout out and hopefully help grow your business as well. But yeah, I figured I'd at least mention those things. Now, this is a flap sander from Sandoflex, and this is the extension that I came up with a few years ago and have hoped to have in production a few years ago, but it's just taken forever. So hit the whole thing with the flap sander, move into a torch. As you guys can see, I'm just using the small Coleman 1 pound tank on a, oh, what is this? Small butane torch anyways, guys, or propane torch, I mean. I think it's the Benzomatic 8000, something like that. I'm gonna go through, tap that fire out, remove the soot real quick by hand, and we're gonna move into spray paint. That's all we're using on this thing, spray paint. We're not doing nothing crazy. A little bit of orange and a little bit of clear to hit the top of the burn on the pumpkin, and that'll be it. Now, just real quick, if you're a beginner or you're looking to chainsaw carve, this is your first video you've seen of mine, I've got a whole playlist of beginner tutorials. I've got a few intermediate tutorials, show you how to carve bears and birds and other pumpkins, and, you know, talk safety and do some other different things on here. So be sure to hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and when you do, hit that bell, hit all, make sure YouTube notifications are on so you guys don't miss those future uploads, and check out those playlists. I want to help you grow your art form. I want you to have fun and be safe with it. Hope you guys were able to come up with something similar. A little bit of spray paint. Obviously, you can pick whatever orange you like. I like to burn the tops. It looks a little more natural rather than paint them. I used to paint them. I like the way burning them looks. Again, it's up to you. This has got to dry, obviously, so I'm going to set this outside the tent because I got a lot more pumpkins to do today. But yeah, the nice thing too about this particular pumpkin and the ones I'm doing, they're white cedar. So what I'll do is I'll tack on a couple dollars more because it's white cedar or cedar. It's not pine. Let people know, hey, if these are indoors, they'll be aromatic. They'll have a great smell. And people love that kind of stuff, you know. Some people want them outside and some people like to have them inside. And it's also a great selling feature to say, hey, it's cedar if they're carved from cedar. That's all I've got for this video though, guys. A quick, easy pumpkin for the very beginner, or even those of you that have been carving for a little while and you just want something to knock out quick this time of year. Pumpkins are simple, pumpkins are easy. They usually sell really fast and they sell really, really good. So if you remember, during the summer, start making your pumpkins so you're ready and you're not behind. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. When you hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, guys. We're getting up to 19,000 subscribers. We're getting there. We're getting so close. Also, I've started a new channel, another channel. It's called Chainsaw Rescue. Be sure to go over, check it out, and hit subscribe as I try to grow that channel. There we'll be working on chainsaws. We'll be doing a backstory, giving information on the chainsaws we're working on, and hopefully having a lot of fun there as well. Really do appreciate you guys watching, and have an awesome day.